This is the Carty Method Podcast.
Hey, welcome. You clicked this video because deep down, you know it's true. You might be caring too much about what people think. It's costing you money. I promise you, it's costing you opportunities. Your entire creative career could be stuck in neutral because you're more worried about looking like a photographer than actually being one. Most creatives think if they just do work, good work, average work, clients will find them. They think that being liked is the same as being respected. But here's the truth that nobody tells you. Being liked never got anybody paid. The photographers that are making the most money, the ones that are building actual careers, they may not be the most talented, but they are the ones who stopped asking for permission and they started moving like they already belong. I've been in the game for 35 years. I've made pictures for Nike, for Apple, I've shot for magazines. I've shot tons of celebrities. And understand this, look at me. I'm 54 years old. I definitely didn't get there and get here by fitting in or trying to fit in. I got there by walking away from the safety of other people's opinions. In this video today, I'm going to break down how caring about what other people think is actually keeping you broke, and why validation is the most expensive drug for a creative, and how to finally build your career without waiting for applause. You don't need applause to start. You guys ready for this? Let's get into it. Caring what other people think is keeping you broke. So, my first point here, I promise you, you'll lose if you keep trying to look good. You're going to lose if you keep trying to look good, or if looking good is more important than being good. The easiest way to stay stuck is to care about looking good. That's it. That's the trap. The easiest way to stay stuck is to care about looking good. That is it. That is the trap. It's trying to build a business without looking like you're trying. Trying to get clients without being told no. Trying to get better without failing in public. It doesn't work like that. I've seen so many photographers stall out, not because they weren't good, but because they were obsessed with not looking bad. The truth is, you have to be willing to look like a beginner. You have to be okay with being judged, because judgment is the tax that you pay for growth. Judgment is the tax that you pay for growth. Some people are going to have to go. Okay? Some people are going to have to go. I've lost friends over this career. Not because I wanted to, but because I changed and they didn't. I outgrew the conversations. I started choosing my vision over vibes. And some people take that personally. But here's the thing I want you to hear. You're not selfish for choosing a path that your old circle doesn't understand. You're not wrong for stepping out of the group chat and into your own lane. You're just evolving. You're developing. And sometimes evolution is a solo endeavor. Some people have to go. You have to separate from the pack. And you have to separate from the pack in order to build the right one. If you're going to make it in this business, you have to get used to being misunderstood. Okay? You got to get used to being misunderstood for a while. You're going to go through a phase where you feel alone, where the support system that you used to lean on, they don't get it anymore. That's okay. This is what I call separation season. You're separating from the version of yourself that was content with small thinking. You're leaving behind the circle that kept you average. And if you stay committed to your vision, guess what? You'll build a new circle, one where the standard is excellence, not excuses. People going nowhere, they talk the most. Okay? People going nowhere, they talk the most. The harsh reality, the most opinionated people are usually doing the least. It's never the photographer that's booking work who tells you that you're pricing too high. It's the ones that are giving away free shoots, shooting for $50, $100, and giving free shoots to anybody who they don't know anything about when to do free strategically and when to, like, it's never the pros who are laughing at you when you post your behind the scenes. It's always the amateurs who gave up on themselves. Those are the ones who are chirping. That's the pattern. Criticism doesn't come from above you. Criticism doesn't come from above you. It comes from people beneath you trying to pull you down. So the next time someone throws shade, ask yourself, do you want their life? You don't need their approval. You don't need anybody's approval. Let's be clear. You do not need permission to chase this dream that you have. You don't need permission from your partner. You don't need it from your parents, not from your friends who think photography is just a hobby. You do not need everyone to get it. You just need the courage to get started, because approval is often the price of comfort. And I promise you, comfort never built any kind of legacy. So stop asking people to understand a life that they're not living. You really do have to stop consuming from the wrong people. You have to stop consuming from the wrong people. If you're the most driven person in your circle, it's time to widen your circle. And if you don't have the right people around you physically, then your inputs, what you consume daily, they have to come from the photographers and the creators who are actually living the life that you want. That's the new circle. Me on YouTube, books, podcasts, mentorship, courses, accelerator programs. I built a Carty method exactly for this reason. If your body is still stuck in a place that you don't want to be, your mind has to be somewhere better until you catch up. And you can't take direction from someone who's also lost. Don't take directions from someone who's lost. And I know this one stings, but if you wouldn't trade lives with that someone, if you wouldn't trade your life for their life, don't take their opinion seriously. Hear that, and I know it hurts. If you wouldn't trade your life for that person with the opinion, don't take their opinion seriously. That includes your parents. That includes your old teachers. That includes the friend who means well. I've had people try to steer my life based on their fears, based on their failures. not my potential. They weren't trying to harm me. They were trying to protect me, right? But in doing so, they're also shrinking me. So I had to stop listening to anyone who wanted me to stay small just so they could stay comfortable. So I had to burn the safe plan. I had to burn it. When I walked away from my safe plan, when I stopped following the rule book, my life finally started. But it was hard. I realized I was raised to believe that success was linear. You did A, B, C. You go to school, you land a job, and then you try to get promoted. Notice how I didn't say that you go to university, because that wasn't even part of the vernacular of my family. I'm the first one to go to university out of all of my siblings and cousins and so when I chose photography, really chose it, I was terrified. Not because I didn't believe in my skill, but because I was stepping into a path that no one in my family had done. None of my circle had done. But I had the support of everyone, including my family. Everybody believed that I could do anything. So they told me. My parents had very little education. My dad has grade 7, my mom has grade 9. So once I knew what I wanted to do, I had all the support. Although financially, it wasn't much. I burned my safe plan. I was going to shoot for Vogue. And believe me, I started working at camera stores when I was 17, 18. I got promoted so fast, they gave me my own store. I was a manager of my own store. I had people working for me that were 35 and 40, and I was 19, okay? I could have totally excelled in that company. By the way, that company went out of business. I could have taken the easy route and worked at a camera store my whole life. So when you choose photography, really choose it. Many are terrified, of course. And it's not because you don't believe in your skill, but it's because you're stepping off a path that made everybody else proud of you. These days, pro photography is misunderstood. It's disrespected. For many of you, that's the reality, which makes it hard to start. And that's the trap. Doing things because someone else thinks that you should, and not doing that thing, that career shift that would actually help you live the dream life that you've always wanted. If that's you, you're living for applause that isn't yours. You have to burn their plan and build the life that you actually want. They'll take your leap. They'll take your leap as a threat. When you break from the expected, people will take it personally. And it's not because you're doing anything wrong, okay? It's not because you're doing anything wrong. But because you're doing something that they're afraid to. You're doing something that they're afraid to. So your courage will feel like an attack. And they're going to project their doubts. They're going to project that onto your journey. And that's why you have to get rock solid about what you want. Because I promise you, the noise won't stop. And if your confidence is fragile, the world will talk you out of your greatness before you even give it a try. If this is resonating with you, give me a hey yeah. I really do put a lot into my show notes. I put a lot into my show notes, and some things that I talk about here are not necessarily sexy. They're not sexy, but they're things that you need to hear. And for me as a pro, I don't need to be sexy. I don't need this to be I just want this to be the best professional photography business information, the best mindset photography shift channel. I just want to be the best at what I can do. So you benefit, but you also have to try to be the best. What you'll notice about me is I'm imbalanced, okay? You'll notice I'm hyper vigilant. I'm obsessive compulsive, okay? But this is something you got to realize. Unbalanced people win. And this one goes against what you've been told. It goes against what you've been told. Balance doesn't build dreams. Obsession does. Obsession. I've been called too much. I am a lot, yo. I've been called too much more times than I can count. Too intense, too serious, too committed, too unwavering. But here's what I know. Mediocre efforts don't lead to great results. Mediocre, half-ass efforts do not lead to great results. So if you want a better life, if you want to get paid for your work, if you want to build a name for yourself, you have to be willing to be unbalanced while you're building. That's the cost. That's the trade. You see, determination beats talent. Determination over talent. I'm going to say this so clearly. The best photographer doesn't always win. Period. The most determined photographers, those are the ones who win. Okay? I've seen less talented shooters build six-figure businesses because they didn't quit. They kept knocking. They kept creating. They kept pitching. Most people stop at the first no. But pros, they keep going until the yes comes, or they find a door to build themselves. That's determination. There are no no's. Like, I am a guy you cannot say no to. You just can't, because like, I'm too pliable. I'm water. I fit into any container, like Bruce Lee. And I gotta tell you, determination is more valuable than talent every single time. Every single time. Success isn't for the reasonable. Okay? I'm an unreasonable guy. I promise you. I'm unreasonable. I'm very reasonable, but I am incredibly unreasonable. Okay? The most unreasonable people that I've met have built the most extraordinary lives. The most unreasonable people that I've met have built the most extraordinary lives. Okay? My coaches are unreasonable people. Michael, my business coach, he's unreasonable. I was talking to this guy about crypto, and I'm like, blah, 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 you got crypto? And he's like, yeah, I got a little bit. I'm like, okay, cool. And he's like, I got like 400,000 Bitcoin, and I have like, I think 300,000 Solar. And I'm like, dollars in? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, dude, he's unreasonable. Like, he does all the research and blah, blah, blah. And in secret, built this little crypto empire. He doesn't even talk about it. He's unreasonable. People who are unreasonable have built the most extraordinary lives, okay? Because they refuse to settle. They ask for more. They demand more. They see possibilities where others see limitations. This guy, in one conversation, taught me more about, like, the why. And he's not a trader. He just buys and holds. That's what I do. I just buy and hold. I don't like try to trade. And again, this isn't we're not talking about that shit. But the whole point is like, they see possibility where others see limitations. And that's sort of where like that little, and again, if me even saying crypto, you're like, oh my God, fuck, what's the card? Like, it's like, it just means like you're blocked. You're just blocked off on like what's happening in the world, you know? So, they see possibilities where others see limitations, and they don't let other people's no override their yes. If someone tells them it's not possible, they ask, why not? And they keep going until the obstacle's gone. All these founders that I've been working with, these videos that I've been shooting, these founders, like, they see obstacles as just another day, and they build their businesses around solving these obstacles and solving these problems. You need to become that version of yourself, the one that doesn't flinch, the one who demands that reality catches up to what they're doing. You have to know this. Pain is the toll that you pay for progress. Okay? Pain. Do you remember growing pains when you were a teenager? Like your bones were hurting because they were actually stretching because you were growing into the person that you were destined to be. Do you want to grow? Get ready to hurt. Okay? Get ready to hurt. Not forever, but definitely for a while. Pain is part of this process. Okay? Making photos that don't hit. Sending emails out that don't get answered. Making content that doesn't land. Clients that ghost you. You're going to doubt yourself, okay? You're going to doubt yourself. You're going to question whether this is actually working. That's when you're growing. Growth comes in friction. How do you build muscle? You go to the gym and you pump your muscles till they actually break down and you're like, I can't lift my arms. Oh my God, I'm in so much pain. And guess what? Do you see any results? Nope. Nothing. You see no results. Guess what you have to do? Go back again. And you're like, ow, my body hurts. Do you see results? Nope. And you go again, and you keep going until the universe sees that you're committed to this, and then you start seeing results. Because as soon as you stop, because that pain, oh my God, I want this pain to stop. As soon as you want that pain to stop, then you start. The growth is in the friction. The reward comes later. Endurance is the real currency. Endurance. Pain is the toll that you pay for progress. So if you're avoiding pain, I promise you, you're failing. You're failing because you're avoiding no's. You're avoiding anything that makes your little feelies hurt. I promise you this. Nobody is cheering in the middle. Nobody's cheering in the middle. When you start, people get excited for you. Oh my God, look at you go. I'm so excited. Then they get quiet. Because they don't give a fuck. They don't care, actually. They don't actually care. That's why they get quiet. You're in the middle. You're grinding. There's no applause. There's no validation. It's just you, your camera, and your mission. Then, if you make it, then, oh my God, I always believed in you. I knew you were gonna do it. Like they were rooting for you all along. Yes or yes? Like they were rooting for you the whole time. But guess what? People fail, people quit before they get to even that point. Wins happen in the middle when no one's listening. That's the lonely part. You have to learn how to clap for yourself before anyone else does. before there's any likes, before there's any comments. Just you and your quiet progress, day after fucking day. You have to make conscious trade-offs. Conscious trade-offs. Here's the truth. You can't have everything at once. You can live it up now. Live it up. Live it up. Or you can level up now. Live it up or level up. What do you want to do? Live it up or level up? For me, I'm about leveling up, bro. So I don't give it a fuck at all. And forgive my language on a Sunday. I get amped up. You can live it up or you can level up, but you can't do both. Your time, your energy, and your focus are all limited. And believe me, that does not mean that you shouldn't enjoy your life. Yes, enjoy your life. Yes. But it means you have to make conscious trade-offs. You have to. I gave up partying. I gave up my weekends. Like, you understand, this is my weekend. I gave up my weekend. I gave up my weekend for the Carty method years, like it feels like years ago. Because I've been doing this on Sundays for longer than you've known. Like for 4 years, I've been building this on Sundays. I gave up passive hobbies so I could get exceptional at what I do. And it wasn't punishment. It was purpose. You don't have to make the same choices exactly, but make sure the ones you make, those choices, make sure the choices that you make are actually yours. You have to be big. You have to be willing to look like a beginner. You have to be okay with looking like a beginner again. And also, and again, and also, and again. Every time you try something new, you're a beginner at it. And that's why people don't try stuff new. And that's why photographers have the biggest egos that there are. There's no photographers who have bigger egos with less accolades than a photographer. You got to be okay. And it's because that ego makes it like they're not able to try anything new. So they just point their camera at shit that they see and they swing their lenses around their neck and they're like, oh yeah, I got a Nikon, blah, 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 blah. It's like, bro, you never hear me talk about what camera I shoot with. You hear me talking about the work. As a real photographer, I care more about the work than the gear I use to make it. Okay? So you have to be okay with looking like a beginner again and again. That's how you grow. I've made images that flopped. Okay? I've posted content that didn't move. I've launched offers that nobody bought. I did weekend specials and blah, 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 that I hope to jumpstart something about getting work because I didn't know what I was doing. But I kept going because I'd rather look stupid now and look back later. And I'd rather know that I tried. I'm okay with looking stupid now and looking back later and saying, yeah, I'm so happy that I tried that because now I'm doing this. That first time, of course, it was going to be bad. But because I did that, what if I was afraid to be on camera? Which I am afraid to be on camera. But I care so much more about your success and my own success in life than I do about being shy. So I took that shy person and I fucking squished him like a bug. Seriously, because shy is not conducive to success. So understand this. Everyone who made it had a phase where they looked foolish. Everybody who made it had a phase where they looked foolish. That's part of the recipe. That's part of the recipe. You have to own it. Be willing to look like a beginner. Be willing to say, I don't know. I actually don't know. Tell me about that. I'm totally new. This life is yours to build. It truly is. And this is morbid, but I want you to wrap your head around this. This is morbid, but you need to realize this. You're gonna die, okay? You're gonna die. And I'm not saying that to be dark. I'm saying it because this life is yours to build, but also you don't have unlimited time. You don't have unlimited time. So you've got maybe 40, 50, 60 years if you're lucky. And the version of you that's watching me right now, this hungry version, the one with energy, the one with ambition, that version of you won't be around forever. Okay? I promise you. That version of you is going to get fat, lazy, tired, unless you act now. Don't wait for clarity. Don't wait for approval. Build what you're trying to do. Build that shit now. Because I promise you, the world will not be cheering yet. But that's only because they don't see the finish line that you're chasing. They don't see your finish line, so you have to keep going. So, if this hit you in the chest today, it's probably because you already know it's true. Caring what other people think, that has been your ceiling. You're stuck, not because you're not talented, but because you've been performing for the wrong audience. You've been waiting for strangers to validate your potential. Strangers. Instead of doing the work that proves it. That's the problem. And believe me, this career can be so lonely. So lonely. Most people around you, everybody around you, they're not going to understand it. They're going to want you to play it safe. They want you to be liked. They do. But success doesn't come from being liked. The success that I want for you doesn't come from being liked. It comes from being consistent. It comes from making better photographs, from getting real feedback, from doing the work, especially when no one's clapping. And that's why you need more than just motivation, okay? You need a system. You need feedback loops. You need a community of other creatives, other photographers who actually get it. Photographers who are on the same path as you, trying to turn their creativity into a career. But most importantly, you need somebody keeping you on track. Someone like me in your corner, telling you the truth, helping you fix what's not working, making sure that you don't drift, because nobody builds this alone. Success is a team sport. The pros that you look up to, those pros, they didn't do it in isolation. They had mentorship, they had feedback, they had accountability. That's the fuel. That's the structure. That's why I created Portfolio Lab. Portfolio Lab is built for photographers like you, emerging creatives who are good enough to get hired, but just need the clarity, the consistency, and the coaching to make it real. Portfolio Lab solves the biggest problems that you're facing right now. You don't know what work to show, what clients to see, or how to consistently level up your pictures. That's all I do here. Inside Portfolio Lab, you build a portfolio designed to book real work. You get weekly assignments with pro-level feedback. You learn how to match the level of work that actually gets you paid. And you stop second-guessing every single photo that you make, because you'll finally be in a system with accountability. Not a course, not a group, but a feedback loop, an industry standard, and a very small, hand-picked, serious community of photographers that are committed to growing. So if you've been trying to do this shit alone, if your current system is just hope, hustle, and a little bit of YouTube, click the link below and learn about Portfolio Lab. thecartymethod.com/Portfolio Lab. If you're serious, I'll see you inside, because you don't need more likes. You need a push. You need a feedback loop, and you need a path. I've already created the pro photography system, like the best one that there is. Portfolio Lab is a very key part of it. I'm ready for you, by the way, when you're ready to step up and get the help that you need. Thank you so much for watching.
This live stream was brought to you by Pixpa, the best website builder for photographers and creatives, and Indie, the best way to run your freelance business, and by you, the members and subscribers of the Carty Method. Consider becoming a member for $5 a month to show your support for our content, and we'll reward you. You get members-only content every month, and Carty has the best emojis on YouTube, and you'll get that crown badge next to your name. If you're building a photography business, make sure you join Portfolio Lab. How ready are you to be a pro? Take the Carty Method Pro Photographer's Readiness Scorecard. You'll always find helpful links in the show notes. Sharing is caring. If this content has brought you value today, share it, clip it, post it to your socials. Curating and sharing helpful content makes you an expert. Even if the content you're sharing isn't yours, be a curator and share this content with your network. Find your creative and business genius with the Carty Method.
Understand this, my professional photographer's accelerator sold out. It is closed again until the fall time. If you missed out on getting in this round, you can join the waitlist. Go to thecartymethod.com/accelerator to answer a couple of questions for me and get yourself on my waitlist. My accelerator opens only twice per year. And this next round, which starts today, I have handpicked absolute killers. And I got the amount of shooters, I made my cap, and we are closed again until fall. If you want access to all of this cool information, your only route is through buying the Carty Method full system. Go look at it right now at thecartymethod.com.